studios.
Log on to hear us speaking the facts on current events, family, and finances.
So be sure to log on each week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. to catch Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR.
Tune in.
What's up, y'all? We are back. This is Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR. And of course, I am JR and my co-host, daughter, and today moderator, Charlie is over there on the right. What's up, Charlie?
Hey, Dad.
How you doing, baby?
I'm doing great. What about you?
I am above ground, so it's a good day. I had a great time with you and the family last night at the Rangers game. That was
a lot of
lots
fun. Yes.
That was lots of fun. I got a kick out of seeing my great grandson just being down for the ladies.
Down for the ladies, for real. He was like, he's all for it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. He was like, where the dancing girls? Bring them back. Forget them other folks.
For real. And wanted to go where they was going.
Let me get the housekeeping out of the way really quick. Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR is brought to you by Kiss Wealth Now, taking care of all of your commercial and residential real estate needs. Tell them how to get Kiss Wealth Now, Charlie.
Hey, family. Thank y'all for tuning in every week. So you can get me 24/7 on my website, kisswealthnow.com all together. And then you can always call me, 214-738-4913. And just want to let you guys know that, there's never any perfect time. Buying a home is kind of like having a kid, There's never any perfect time, but you get so much from it. So you want to live like a homeowner, you want to think you want to see what it's about, then definitely reach out to me.
Yeah, and again, let me toot her horn a little bit last year when she was number 6 in the whole state of Texas.
Yes.
So that means she must be doing something right. That means you must be doing something
and
right.
I'm actually going down to Houston to teach a class for the state of Texas on Saturday. So I'm excited about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, we want to remind you that your health is your wealth.
Yes.
Because without it, you can have all the dollars in the world, and if you can't get up and spend them, and as I always say, somebody else will spend it for you.
That's right.
You can rest assured of that. There's few things in the world you can rest assured of, but if you can't spend your money, somebody else will.
There you go.
Take care of yourself, love yourself, so that you can be blessed and be a blessing to others. By the way, I'm leaving out the rest of the housekeeping. I forgot about our alter egos, the Fly Guy and the Fly Girls. And of course, I am the Fly. Don't get the Fly Guy. Don't call it a comeback because I've been fly.
You've been fly.
And over there we got Fly Money.
Hey y'all.
And the third member of the Speaking the Facts team, our producer and my daughter number 2, Kim. What's up, Kim? Hey. Uh-oh. Hey.
Yes.
So, and in fact, if you are interested in being on Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR, you can email us at speakingthefacts. That's SPEAKINTHEFACTS at Gmail. Speaking the Facts all together at Gmail. You can give me a call, 469-254-6470. I think you can also text or call Charlie at 214. Now, we got to get this other number straightened out to separate it. We're going to work on that.
Yeah, we're going to work on it.
We're going to work on that.
I've added another phone.
But, for now, you can call her at 214-738-4913. And we will make sure that Kim reaches out to you so we can get you on Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR. Yes. Without any further ado, I want to let our moderator introduce our guests and kind of frame the conversation. And since I don't know what's coming, I'm going to sit over here.
You're going to sit over there? You're going to sit over there? Well, so today, you guys, we got the men in here. So we always want to clap them up, our kings, yes. So today's show is really, we wanted to talk to the men and get y'all's, check your temperature on how you feel about basic things. We're not going to go straight into relationships because that's too heavy. We're going to just basic things like how you approach certain topics and issues. So today we have Sebastian, my brother, and Teton, my other brother.
Pleasure to be here.
And so and then of course y'all know my dad. And so today I wanted to start off with something that, of course, some of these questions are going to be from a female point of view because I am one, right?
Last we checked.
Last we checked, like when you help me up,
Yeah, when I
she's a
held you
girl.
up, ain't nothing dangling. It's a
It's
female.
a girl. It's a girl. And so, I know, right? Yeah, Lord. Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. That's the question that y'all men got to ask now. Well, what were you born?
That's right.
So, what is y'all's definition of intimacy? Because a lot of this is coming from because a lot of women, they maybe feel like that can lack. So, what is intimacy for you guys?
Okay, we'll start that down there. Come this way.
Well, number one, let me speak and say that I'm glad to be on the panel.
Yes.
Because I'm also looking forward to the all-female panel one day.
Yes. So yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I
On the
think
way,
that's gonna be a lot of fun.
But for me, I probably have gotten the word confused over the years. But at 55 now, intimacy for me would probably be foreplay. How can I make love to her without being physical with her?
Okay.
Would be my definition of intimacy.
Okay. I like that. D-Tom?
That's a very good question to start off with. I think
I know, because we gotta go in hot,
Right.
The ladies want to know.
There's a lot of layers to that question, but for me now at my stage of my life at 52, I think intimacy for me is to be at a place where you're able to settle her nervous system, where she feels safe. Whether if it's that by the sound of my voice, the touch of my hand, or either the consistency of what I've demonstrated with not just my words.
Yes.
That's an intimate connection.
Yes.
We're wiring ourselves together in a framework called unity, husband and wife.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
And then all that other stuff goes with that, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's my thought on that.
Well, back in my day, no.
Yeah. What is your age?
I am 68. So, and if you look at the Webster's definition of intimacy, or it is an adverb, an adjective of intimate, and intimate is close. So, if I'm intimate with someone, I can't do that from a distance. Spiritually or really even physically, I can't be intimate with someone from a distance. I have to be able to be close, and like you said, Teton, that requires safety.
Right.
It requires knowledge that after intimacy, whatever takes place after intimacy is going to be due to us being intimate. It's not going to be fake. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be where everyone is valued and respected, because again, if you're not valued and respected, you're not safe. And if you're not safe, you're not going to be intimate. You can fake, but you're not going to be intimate. So for me, it would be, but that requires reciprocity.
Uh-oh.
Right. Yes.
Intimacy requires reciprocity. Because if I'm being intimate and I'm not receiving intimacy, then how long am I going to continue to be intimate?
Right.
So.
Like that. So now let's share y'all's ages, so that way they know where you guys are coming from. Because Teton, you said at my age, and at your tenure, at your very mature age. No, I'm just
That's all right. That's the grandmother over there. So I get my old jokes in.
And also, if you want to share your, your relationship status.
Okay.
If you don't have to, if you don't want
Okay.
to.
No. I shouldn't have had the pregnancy pause.
You said a pregnancy pause. Yeah, that was good.
But I'm 55. And I'm wonderful as I am, waiting for that person who's going to meet me, and we're going to be wonderful together.
Okay, love that. Okay, Teton.
I am 52. I am married, and I'm on this journey, man. And it's a wonderful experience.
Love it. Okay.
Just
I am again 68.
Father.
And that's right, father. And I would have to echo Bass. I am looking I figure I'm a puzzle piece, and I'm looking for that piece that fits.
Right.
Because I think we're all puzzle pieces, but I think we try to put square pegs in round holes, and we don't really look at we settle. The flesh makes us settle,
Right.
Right.
and we don't really think about tomorrow because the day is just so exciting.
Right,
you know?
right.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
And so I love that. So then the night
right.
that kind of takes us into my next question, because you'll hear a lot of people say, and I'm guilty of it, oh, I like him. And y'all say I like her. So when do you cross that line from like to love? Because you've heard people say, oh, I love them, but I don't like them, right? You have that in marriages, right?
Yeah.
At some point in time, people will fall out of like, but you still love them. So, but you have to really like that person to, for that intimacy and for all the other things. And so for y'all, when do you know when you cross that line from like to love, and that would be somebody that you are really feeling, as the young people would say? And more mature people as well.
We do T-Town. We do this every week.
That's
That's
good.
all
That's
right.
good.
That's
I love
all right.
it. I love it. I love it.
But that's a layered question for me. I'm gonna try to.
Definitely is.
I remember the scene in the movie The Fifth Element when he was trying to get the girl's name, and he was like. So I'm gonna try to do the. But getting from like to love. I love is one of those words that it is so overused that because, and when I say overused, I mean that there are three distinctive types of love that and there has to be a balance of them for a healthy relationship. Of course, in agape, that's the like. If I love you with agape, I'm going to do my best to like you. Because if I don't like you for a long period of time, how can I love you? So if there's agape, then that's universal. That's what I'm saying. But that's necessary for a relationship, And then of course you have the eros and the phileo, But so if I say I love someone, what am I really saying? Am I saying I love you as a friend? Am I saying that is the phileo, that am I loving you as a friend? Or am I saying I love you eros? Or am I saying, what I'm saying? Or what am I saying? And how does that apply to where we are going right now? Does it even apply to where we're going right now? Because the word is used so loosely that,
Correct.
and the problem for me is that there are a lot of expectations that come along with the use of that word. When it's misused, I think that's where a lot of relationships, including the ones I've been in, because let me say for the record, I have made a lot of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So I am not sitting up here.
I like you, but I will love you one day. No.
I'm having fun with someone now who but but it is like I'm going to let. And the other thing is that I think you have to be in tune with this at the end of the day. How can I know when to move forward if I don't trust me?
Right.
So.
Oh, he's rolling. He's throwing it to you.
Oh, you're throwing it to me. Oh, okay. Man, I'm just sitting here processing the question in multiple ways, and I'm probably overthinking it. So, love from like to love is what you're talking about in terms of relationship.
Yeah, because that's something that a lot of women, they are looking for that. They are looking for someone to like them, truly like them, and then obviously you'll get to. So how do the men know? How are y'all moving from like to love?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a layer.
You want to add? You like
will,
over there?
I'm like Shrek with the onion layers.
No, I don't want my answer. I don't want my answer to reflect anything that doesn't line up with many people's beliefs. But I'm just going to speak from my experience.
Yeah.
From what I've learned. So the infatuation, all the stimulation of a relationship when you first meet somebody, all of that feels good to the nervous system because I'm connecting with someone I'm familiar with.
Right.
Right.
You know, I recognize similarities.
Right.
All of those things take me from one place to another, right? From
Right.
whatever state I was before I met that person.
Right.
And the ultimate goal is to become one with that person.
Right.
And I say that when the like becomes love, if however you define love, when like becomes love is when it gets dark. And in darkness, that's when things begin to grow. The sacrifice. You know, you're being tested for all the healing that you say you liked about that therapist. Now let it love through you.
Yeah.
When you have to deal with conflict, you know. So it's a transition. It ain't just running around with, you know,
Right, with
I'm going to give her
roses.
flowers and, you know, I'm going to send her a nice little text and
Right.
go to her favorite restaurant. It's a lot of work. But that work must already be in you.
Right.
So
that.
you must reflect her and she must reflect you.
That's true.
That's love because that's oneness.
That's true. Yeah.
When I think about my wife sometime, she's thinking about me and I said, man, I was just getting ready to,
That's right.
oh man, I love that. To
That's
your
right.
point,
Yeah.
Right.
different versions of how you expressing love.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
And it's being reciprocal.
And to your point, and the reciprocity of
Right.
that exchange, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, that is virtually impossible to follow, but I'm gonna give it my best.
No, man. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, this is the way I'm experiencing it, right?
And I'm gonna come from experience. But in my earlier stages of life, I think after I had that first real heartbreak,
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
I became damaged goods.
Oh, yeah.
But I still wanted to feel good, so I still got into relationships.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. That's
Right.
that.
But I was
We
still
can come to
damaged.
that
Or
word ship, too.
situationships.
We can come to that.
Whatever.
Situation. Yeah.
But
'cause-
we can
Got
do
into
it.
yeah,
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I knew that I was damaged.
Right.
And so, and that's at a younger stage of me. So I probably was selfish, and thought being selfish was the cool thing to be, because it was, you know, how you look good, feel good,
Right,
she's fine, you know,
right,
the
right.
challenge, the chase.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But later in life, probably about 8 years ago, I probably know exactly when it was. I was on what they call Planet Fish. I call it Filthy Fish. But
Filthy fish.
Filthy
Plenty
fish.
of plenty
Man.
of fish.
well, yeah,
Maybe it got salmonella or something. Well, you need to go to that fish market.
somebody definitely
Stay
was
out of
peeing-
there.
Somebody was definitely peeing in that pool. But anyway, so I was on there and realized I was meeting two types of people, but I was wanting to meet one. I was meeting those who wanted to do it right then, and those who wanted to get married, and so we can do it every day. But I wanted to meet someone that I wanted to get to know better. I got off of it, but before getting off of it,
You hit a couple of one or twos?
no,
I'm just teasing. No.
I was no, seriously,
She said, "Boop."
I was getting off of it,
Like you kept saying, I'm on. No.
and I got this response where someone had liked me. And so I was, at that point, was honest
Right.
and say, hey, you better reach out to me right now, because I had decided I'm getting off. And sit the dub and said, hell, if she calls, she calls. If she don't, so
Right.
what? I'm getting off.
Right,
Because
right.
it wasn't what I wanted. So I got off. Well, she called. I did something that I had never thought of, and that was when we had our first date, I wanted to go to the least expensive place I could think of, because it wasn't about trying to impress her. She needs to get to know who I am. I need to get to know who she is. So I chose Brahms.
Upgrade.
Okay.
And who can dress down the best.
Right.
So we walked in there and we got in line. Brahms has that big old mirror, you know, behind the ice cream stand. And so I stood behind her, and she stood, and we actually looked at the same time. I said, I like what I see.
Right.
I said, we're gonna get this banana split. You get to pick one flavor, and I'm picking two, and we're gonna share.
Okay.
That was gonna be a deal breaker or a deal maker. It was a deal maker. So we left. I left there and realized I want to get to know this lady, but I want her to get to know me, and I'm
Right.
tired of playing the game. So I asked her to take the love language test, and so by doing that, I didn't have to work so hard to meet her needs, because I was willing to do what I was used to doing and what I want to do, but not realizing that that's not what every woman wants. Nor is it what every woman needs. So I think I now can say, because I got over being damaged, that it is possible for me to first say I love me,
Uh-oh.
Right?
Well,
yeah.
That's where you start.
Because
Yeah.
I can't tell no woman, if I'm being honest with myself, that I love her. I love how you make me feel. I love
Right.
the places we go,
see.
Right.
the things we do. But can I honestly tell her I love her when I don't love myself? And I don't think you can,
Right.
because you're
That's
damaged
fair.
good.
Well, you
Right.
can't.
So, you, so,
That's
I,
right.
so
That's right.
because of sessions like this where we're able to be open and honest with each other,
Right.
my desire is that one person hears something that's said tonight that will help them love who they are. Because
Yeah.
when we're talking about Kiss Wealth and Kiss Health, primarily we're talking about loving yourself first.
Loving yourself first.
And
yeah.
then I think with that being a primary focus, you're not stuck up.
Uh-oh.
I was about to say,
He was about
loving
to-
yourself doesn't mean be selfish.
That's
It
right.
doesn't mean that. It means take care of you
Right.
mentally, physically, spiritually. Be
Right.
whole, like you
Right.
said, not damaged,
Right.
but whole, so that then you have a pie that you can slice and share with somebody.
Exactly.
I heard. In fact, Jackie was talking about going into a kitchen and somebody baking a pie,
Right.
and they didn't let it cool right, so the pie crumbled, and they had to
Right.
put it into a bowl instead of leaving it where they couldn't get a slice of pie. They was getting scoops of pie,
Right.
and she said, "Well, do you scoop pie or do you slice pie?" You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So I don't want no scoop of pie. I
Right.
want
Right,
a
right,
slice of
yeah.
pie.
You know how it's supposed to
So
come.
we just being loving us enough
Yeah.
so that we can we can kind of bake ourselves and let ourselves cool, so that when we
Right.
share we can cut a nice slice. We ain't got to break ourselves up and throw it in little chunks. We can.
Yeah.
Exactly. So then I like that. So right now everybody's talking about that there's a male loneliness epidemic, right? A lot of men are lonely. And so, and they're looking for women, but women are not being responsive. There was even an article about women really not wanting to take on being in a relationship, right? They didn't want, it was more of an undertaking versus
Yeah.
a benefit, right? An added benefit. But if we know how we were put here to be together, we were put here to procreate, and we're getting. Of course, when we get more mature in life, we're probably not trying to have kids, right?
Yeah, you get older like her.
I know, get old like me. But how long does it take to kind of get past all the walls, right? So how long does it take to truly get to know someone? So that way, maybe, because of course you got to put that work and that time, so that way a woman would say, now, kind of, you've already done the work, right? But someone would say, hey, you know what, maybe being in a relationship is not that bad, because you've made it into their mind, because
Yeah.
that's really ultimately what men are trying to do and have done. They get into a woman's mind, and then some women go crazy, right? We see, but again, you can't get into a person's mind if you're not ready, right? But, how long does it take to get to know a person? And are men nowadays maybe not willing to put the work in, and the women are not wanting to see if they're worth the work, So that's my question. It was probably two-part.
Well, yeah, you can take that one out.
Well, I'll jump in because it's real quick. I think I cheated on this question because I don't know why, but in my adult life, I always had female friends that we were tight. I mean, we to this day can say we never slept with each other.
Right.
We never had relations. We never had a relationship. But
Right.
we were tight. I mean, their
Right.
mothers knew me, and I knew their. So
Right.
I didn't see a lot of loneliness when I didn't have a girlfriend or a woman.
Okay.
Because I still had those sisters.
Right, gotcha.
Now, I always let them know, when you meet your man, he ain't gonna understand.
Right.
But I do.
Right.
It's not that I'm losing you as a sister. I'm losing you to the man that needs to be able to take care of you.
Right.
And I don't want to make him uncomfortable. So these same women, we're friends.
Right.
But we're not tight like we were then, because when that man came along, I knew my rightful place.
Right.
And so I don't understand this loneliness.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm going to be kind to the question because I don't understand the loneliness, at least to the place that I'm in, but I know what it felt like when I was lonely, right? And I think the loneliness started with the war within myself, not recognizing that my problem was me. and the world that I had created and designed, and the member that I put out when I was really hurting and wounded, as you
Right.
stated.
Right.
And I have to maintain image, and when image is everything, you're going to eventually lie. First, lie to yourself.
Right.
So when I say if I'm really in love, am I really in love with myself, or I'm in love with the pain and the condition that I'm in, right?
that,
And then that becomes the selfish act of your own, because all it is going to bring attention to the more pain and the
Right.
re-triggering. So the greatest part about the experience for myself is to really recognize who I am
Right.
and my purpose, because we spend too much time trying to save everybody else.
That's true.
You know, and talk
Right.
about a savior who's going to save you.
Right.
Yeah.
But here in this place that we exist in, it's time to save yourself. You got to make some better decisions and better choices,
Right.
and stop blaming the devils
Right.
and
Exactly.
the things around the Trumps and the stumps.
Right, there you have it.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Instead of blaming she's this,
Yeah,
she this one. It's
yeah.
really you got to look in the and vice
Sometimes
versa.
you got to get out the way. You got to get out the
Yeah,
way.
exactly.
And I found myself in the way. You know.
Very good answer. Both of them.
Yeah, I have to definitely. I haven't had a lot of female friends. I haven't been lucky. I'll say lucky enough to have that experience. But I have had the experience of getting in my own way, and I, and I
That's coded language too.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about, right?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. And but but male loneliness is when I teach kids at schools, and
Right.
like we've been talking about violence all week. And I know there's family violence, there's teen dating violence, there's all the different violences. And when I talk, I erase all this. Violence is violence, period.
Right.
Teen dating, all of these, they are subheadings of violence, and violence does not occur without anger. So I try to simplify things. And you can be in a room with 1,000 people and be alone.
Yes.
So one of my favorite songs is just a short lyric. Is one, Three Dog Night, but it says one is the loneliest number that you could ever do, and then it
Right.
says two can be as bad as one.
Right. Right. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so what good does it do to get in a relationship and then still be alone? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because
Oh,
many
yeah.
people are experiencing that. They are in relationships, but they are alone.
Right.
And
Been there, done that.
yeah, and
Where's my
well,
T-shirt?
I'm just yeah. I have too. I'm speaking from experience when I say that.
Yeah.
I have been in a relationship and been alone. That's why I like that line. Two can be as bad as one when it comes. One being the loneliest number, but two can be as bad as one.
Right.
So loneliness, whether it's male, female, I believe loneliness occurs when we don't have the proper appreciation for self. Because if we have the proper understanding and appreciation of self, then, and it doesn't mean that you might not say, it might not be bad to have somebody watch a movie with me right now, but I think that's different than being alone. Because as you know, I live alone,
Right.
and I'm cool with me.
Right.
I am real cool with me. So
Right.
but in order
That's
in order to love someone, you have to love yourself. We were just talking
Right.
about you
Yes.
have to be cool with you.
Yes.
And if I'm not, then everything I believe guys are particularly, well, from one spectrum, guilty of this. Is that because we're the hunter gatherers, so we go out and we
Right.
do what we do, but it's so loaded with pretense that when you strip that away, it's like, what do I do now?
Right.
Right.
And if I don't know what to do, then I regress into this shell because I don't know what to do.
Right.
And that's where the loneliness occurs, when you regress into that shell because you've been faking. That fake it till you make it don't work when it comes to becoming a man or becoming a woman.
Right.
You might fool somebody on your job. You might,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to being a man or a woman, that fake it till you make it don't work. The idea is never fake it, always make it. You know what I'm saying? You can't, you can't,
Right.
a man can't fake being a man. A woman can't fake being a woman.
True.
So
So,
often we get caught up in our identity and what we do, or how much money we make,
Right.
or what we've been presented to present to the world instead of who we truly are as
Right.
character.
Exactly.
You
That's the
know.
word, character.
And
your
so,
character is going to shine through your actions for sure.
Yeah, and it's almost like sometimes you can be in a room and you can have all the wonderful experiences about imagining who you are when the lights are out, sitting in front of the mirror, because you can be whoever you want to. But when the lights come on,
Right.
you have to really come to terms with who you truly are.
Correct.
And if I failed, how do I get back up?
That's true.
And going on Instagram complaining about it don't work.
Right, and that happens, and that definitely happens a lot right now. And that's why my questions are definitely centered around
Yeah.
love, because a lot of
Yeah.
these podcasts are all about
Yeah.
at being at odds, not at what brings it
Right.
together.
Yeah.
So what is intimacy? Not, well, what did this person not do? What did this person not do? Or have all these rules like, I hate it. I see a guy has to come in and he has to do this, he has to do this, where is a partnership? So kind of segueing into my next question, what is a good relationship to most men? Are they looking for a partnership? I know there's some out there looking for dictatorships, but
I don't want to know them.
I know, right? But what does a partnership in a relationship look like for you guys? And
Well-
if you're speaking to the younger men out there, and even the women, like, what is it? Because it doesn't come with, you got to pay all my, in my opinion, it doesn't come, you got to pay all my bills, you got to buy my clothes, you got to get my hair done. Because if I was buying my clothes and getting my hair done before I met you, those are things that I would do anyway.
Right.
Right? Those
Yeah.
are, why are those prerequisites?
Right.
But so what does a partnership look like in a good relationship?
Well, I maybe I better let you answer this since you're the married guy, because I can take a note or two. I don't know.
Right, but also even from the single standpoint, what was your partnership? I mean, everybody.
Well,
has-
I run into, as you know, I've run into several women over the course of the last year or so.
Okay. I was going to say over your tenure. I was going to ask to get like a notebook.
Yeah.
Fingers and toes.
I'll figure this notebook. No.
Yeah.
And of course, this is a subjective opinion. So for the audience, I understand that what I'm about to say is a subjective opinion. But if you tell me you want to take it slow, I ain't got no problem with that. I have no problem with that. If you're waiting to see what I'm about beyond, beyond, I understand waiting a few weeks to see if a person changes from day one. I get all that. But if I've been knowing you for 6 weeks, as an example, because there was one person that I did, and you're waiting for me to do something wrong so you can say, aha, because those are the women that I was running into. Instead of coming into, and that means you're not ready for a relationship. Because when the first question you asked me, one of the things I said was, I trust me. So that means I trust my instincts.
Right.
I'm not gonna, so yeah, I've had bad relationships. I've been cheated on, I've cheated, what I'm saying? All the, the boo-hoo, but
Right.
at the end of the day, I am who I am because I choose to be who I am. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm a king. And that don't mean I'm perfect. I don't have to be perfect to be a king. There's been no
Right.
perfect king on the face of the earth. But in order, I trust my instincts. And if I see good in you, it don't mean you see it. You know what I'm saying? But I trust my instincts. So if you don't trust yours, then maybe you're not ready for a relationship. Because you shouldn't be sitting back waiting for me to fail so that you can say, see, I knew it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where I think women are failing, is that they're sitting back waiting instead of saying, okay, yeah, I had some hurt in the past. I'm sorry, I had some hurt in the past. But let me get over that. And let me not be wounded, like Bass was saying. Let me not be wounded. Let me just look at tomorrow as promise, as opportunity, as hope. And start there and see the best that you can see in all around you, in the people, in the trees, and the whatever. See the
Right.
best you can
That's right.
see in all around you. And
Right.
then if you start to see some regression from your view, at least you have the option to go left, right, or whatever. But if you have the view that it's wrong until I say it's right, then it's going to be wrong. You know, and you know, did that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
I
You know,
understand.
you know.
So then the partnership is definitely for you going to be that communication and trying and not starting at the end of the book. So so basically you are correct, because I've said that to several people. You know, if I'm reading a book, am I going to start at the front and I'm not going to cheat and I'm going to make it all the way to the end, or am I starting at the end and working my way back? So there are a lot of people who are damaged, right? And they start at the end of the book because
Right.
they've been hurt, they've been cheated on, they've been lied to, they've been all these things. So they're already at the end and they're working backwards. But if you meet someone who's at the front of the book, how do y'all collectively get to that partnership? You know, are y'all gonna go? You know, who's skipping pages? You know,
Right.
and but again, what is what is that? Because for me, I think about if I'm out and I'm meeting people, am I meeting people to make friends? You know, or am I meeting people to see if they would be relationship worthy? So it's kind of hard when I hear people say, "Oh, I don't run a relationship," you know. But then if you're meeting people, what are you doing? Are you making friends?
Yeah, I think I found with my wife, whom I love the most, dope.
That was
Yes,
make
that was
sure.
good.
I love
Right.
it most.
You got a couple rounds.
To the moon and back.
But I think friendship was so important for us, right? Especially after being married the first time around for 25 years, and then having to re-involved and then, you know, start dating. Now you're remarried again, and it's like, but through that process, the friendship was so valuable because even in rocky days, we can still look back and say, hey, wait a minute, let's reconnect.
Yeah, we're
You know,
get
we're-
back to that partnership
right.
where you were
Let's get back to that
friends.
partnership, you know, and so that friendship gave us stability.
Right,
And too often people think it's for perfection, but it's
Right.
growth.
right.
And it's hard to grow when you think that something is supposed to match like a puzzle, but some part of us has to be uniquely
Right.
different so
Right.
that we can reflect something unique from the
Exactly.
same person.
The same
So
person.
it's the two becoming one is what we would talk about.
Right, right.
And that took a lot of lesser of my ego, more of understanding who she truly is, because we're changing each and every day. And so I had to reverse engineer the information. This is 2026.
Right.
Like Windows 2006
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
work.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't do an iPhone 2006 in
Yeah.
2026,
Right,
right?
right.
Yeah, you
I had
sure can.
We got
Yeah.
even us. We have to upgrade our information.
That's true.
We got to really start telling the truth.
That's right.
And like my brother here, being really authentic at our age and being honest, because the problem is that our children are getting led away
from
because
from partnerships.
we
from
yeah, because we're not being
relationships, from
honest
friendship.
about
Yeah.
our failures and
Yeah.
our victories. The sky is not always falling.
That's right.
Right.
And so I just think conversations like this, as we talk about what's wrong, man, there's a lot of great stuff happening in our
There's
community,
a lot
man.
Of great
Yeah.
things. Yes.
You know, and so we
yes.
can project that love and peace and be able to build as some will tear down. We
Right.
look up a few years later and we got a nation of brothers and sisters loving on each other.
And that is a beautiful thing.
You know, so the
Yes.
frequency of language and how we express our authenticity, our reciprocity,
Yes.
Right.
how we listen to the wisdom of the elders and
That's
listen
right.
to the wisdom of some of the young people and having their experiences. We got to bridge it together
We got to bridge the
and
gap.
pour
yeah.
it together. So that's just the way I see it, and I just
Right.
appreciate, you know, unpacking it
Exactly.
at these multiple layers.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
What about for you? Friendship.
Well, for me, I think being friends.
Yeah.
I think a relationship that can be built on me trying to do as much as I can for her, while she's trying to do as much as she can for me.
There you go.
There's something that
Knowing that that's different. Knowing that what you're going to do for her is different than what she's going to do for you. And that's okay.
But it doesn't have to be, because the thing is that men, y'all have, but men have feelings, and it's not just about the woman. And somewhere, my opinion is that's gotten lost, right? You know, men and
Yes.
women, men have feelings. It's okay, right? You know.
Oh, no, yes,
And
yes.
so, and that's why, you know.
he got a
me-
big ego.
Right, but yeah,
I'm just-
but
that's
yeah,
just-
yeah,
that's the
yeah,
song.
but you know, because what if the man was like, you know what, babe, I need a haircut, you know, well, you know, you wouldn't do that, right? You know, but if your woman came to you and said, you know what, let me go ahead and get your haircut, you know, again, that's going back to partnerships and friendships. If you're really it shouldn't just be that one-sided. So that the woman should be able to look at that man and know what he needs, right?
Right. Yeah, that communication. That's another part. My communication with my wife is sacred. I don't just talk to her like she's just my friend. But there's a time and place where we'll communicate like friends because
Right.
now we're in a safe space. We can love, we can laugh.
Right.
And I'm expecting the same thing when we connect physically or intimately. And it's
Right.
not always going to be perfect.
Right.
Sometimes I got to tell her, baby, yeah, I don't like that dress, but here's a better dress, and this will look a lot better on you, and let me throw a flower on it.
I love that.
You know, because we have to learn how to communicate
That's right. Exactly.
it's-
what it is that we need and what it is that they need
Right.
without further damage.
There you go.
Best.
No, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
But you know, it's like the original phone, the two cans and the string. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, the
If-
one right here.
Yeah. If I got my can,
Right.
But if you don't pull that string tight, I'm not communicating with you, no matter how much I want to.
Nah, man.
You
Right.
got to pull that string tight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
so I'm supposed to be concerned not just about what I want to say, but how I need to say it so that it's received.
Oh, man, I had to learn that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because that's communication. If you're only concerned about saying what you want to say the way you want to say it, then
Yeah.
I mean that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean if it edifies you, but in the world, others should be edified from being in your presence. It shouldn't just you edifying you, because that's really impossible to do anyway. Somebody's got to feel your well. You can't feel it.
Right,
But
right.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, I should be concerned about. I mean, really concerned, especially if I'm married or if I have somebody that I want to be intimate with. I should be concerned about how you're going to receive what I want to say, to the point that I'm going to stop and not say it until I think that I'm saying it in a manner that you will receive it. And sometimes that takes shutting up in the moment, because doors aren't always open for all types of communication.
Right.
You know,
Right.
there
Wow.
Right.
there are certain types of communication that the doors are open at certain times, and you can step through and you can share that idea or make that point that you wanted to make in that moment, if you are aware enough to step through that door in that moment. But that door is going to, just like it opened, it's going to close. And
Right.
so if it's closed, let it be closed. Be okay with that.
Right.
Be okay with we can deal with that tomorrow. You know, it's not, and yes, Bass, you said egos and pride. That's what kills us as men. Because I've always described us as M&Ms. We have a hard candy shell, but we're soft inside. We
Right,
have
right.
feelings.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and it's, yeah.
Still a nut.
Right. And so I saw this the other day. This guy, telling his son that, hey, son, it's okay to cry. He was growing up. It was him and his wife raising this child up, and he's like, I'm not going to raise my son to where he can't express his feelings,
Yeah.
and it's okay to you're scratching your head, but to that, what. For men, what is okay as far as expressing feelings, and it not seeming quote unquote feminine, because that is something that I think a lot of men probably struggle with now, right? I hear a lot of them, like I'm not soft, but but if your ego is getting in the way, right? Because I guess one question is, have y'all all lost a woman maybe because of ego, or you weren't ready?
Now, I'm laughing at your question because I remember, because I was raised by grandmothers and women, that I had a girl say I argued like a bitch. And so
No joke.
there's probably a lot of truth that if we have women raising our young men, why shouldn't the young ladies expect these boys to argue with them like the bitches?
Oh, man,
Yeah.
you're going somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, we
like
are.
That. I like that.
Yeah.
I had this conversation before. I hate, and I really believe that every situation that started in relationship started with a man. That mom being heartbroken, having to carry the load. These
Damaged.
babies watching the pain, they're feeling the pain.
Right.
Dad having to focus only on what he feels. She's focused on how she feels. Nobody's focusing on what the children are experiencing.
Right.
And so you begin to create this frequency or this bloodline of disruption, disconnection. And no one has a point of reference because we're surviving at a higher rate of pain and anger and resentment. And so relationships and love is blurred.
And
I'm
that-
just trying to
and
survive.
that
I want to
energy becomes
feel
normal.
good.
Unfortunately, it's normalized.
It's normalized.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So why do I need a woman for?
Right.
Why do I need a man for?
Right.
Regardless of how I was raised,
Right.
the point of the matter is that have I been raised to be a man, or have been raised and underdeveloped to maintain the man code when it's necessary?
Right.
So when conflict arises, I reduce down to that little boy, and now I'm responding to this woman like I'm hearing the sound of my mother's voice yelling at me. That's because I have no awareness and I'm healed and I'm wounded, and there's too many wounded warriors.
Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
And if
too
you're
many.
wounded in the mind, if you're wounded in the body, now what happens when I transmit my love to you when it beyond intimacy? Now you're downloading all my trauma. You're
Right.
downloading all my pain.
Right.
And now you're creating after
Yeah.
my own kind.
Yeah. That's true.
That's layers.
That's definitely layers.
Song
And
by Sliding Family Store called
yeah.
Babies Making
Babies
Babies.
Making
yeah.
babies.
I know.
I
I tease
remember.
it. I tease it.
My
I say
dad
this.
used to play that song. Oh
If
my
if I
God.
listened to my mama, I would have thought that all men were being heads.
You would have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I'm going to form my own opinion, you know? And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so going back to the question, what is okay to show for a man to be feminine? But, you know, because what is that?
What are we talking about? Feminine, mass. I mean, what are we saying?
I know, but that's
no,
what
no, I'm
that-
not saying you,
yeah,
but
yeah, but that's
the thing is that I've learned
Mm-hmm.
to understand that every person is uniquely made differently.
Mm-hmm.
And what I had to learn with my son is that I couldn't take the tools the way my father and mother raised me and try to develop him at 16, trying to expect him to function like he's 30.
yeah, you can't.
I had to learn how to understand. I need to connect with my son. I need to love on my son. He needs to know the safety and connection of a
Of
father.
love, yes.
You right? Not to fear me,
Right,
not to
yeah.
be threatened by me.
Right, but to feel love.
Right, because he's my first connection to the Creator.
That's right.
And for those men who want to say, well, I'm the man, see, because we're taking responsibility right now. For those men who want to say I'm the man, if you want to be the head of something. I had a pastor that said, if you a leader and you turn around and ain't nobody there, you just taking a walk.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you want to be the head of your household, if you want to be a king in your life, you know it. If you rule, and that's not about ruling, but if you are headship by fear, by intimidation, they are going to run from you the second they get the chance. It's like putting sand in your hand and squeezing. All that sand is going to get through your fingers. Those, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to be followed, be someone that can be followed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, be someone that
So
people.
we're talking about accountability.
Yeah,
And-
exactly. You know, and that's where, like you said, we as men have failed.
yeah, we gotta hold
Now,
ourselves accountable.
Bass and I talk about this all the time because when we meet women, because I can't do anything about my past or anybody else's, but today I'm kingly. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to being wounded, you know, I can help you recover, but as long as you know that I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a true statement.
I
right?
didn't. Whatever
Yeah.
happened to you, I didn't do it, and
Right.
and I'm not blaming you for anything that happened to me. But far too often, like you said, all the men would have been beanheads. That's because you know
Right, right.
that's because of the ideology that you're all alike.
Right.
You know, and instead of saying, well, you know, this shirt's got a much nicer quality than this shirt. This is just they're all shirts. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So.
Yeah. How do you
And Bass, you got
separate
too many
them?
smiles over there. I got to hear what's on your mind because the smile is just all over the place. So.
No, I wanted to hear what everyone's takeaway was from tonight because a lot of the topics, and we're glad that the women brought them. I mean, they were deep because there was many occasions, you know, like I joked, and we had pregnant pauses. We had to think about, you know, what we wanted to say, and once we realized, you know, we weren't judging each other, I think it really flowed. So what would be your takeaways from tonight?
Yeah, because we do have to move towards that.
Yeah.
We've got about 3 minutes left. But my takeaway would be we need to do this again. That's my takeaway because as you said, this is a deep topic. It
Yeah.
is. It's a very deep topic, and we just really kind of scratched the surface. So I would like to see us do this again, but I would like to see men be willing to come together and actually have honest conversations, and not just the football game and the beer and the pizza and the
Right.
blah blah.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
So before we close out, though, so does this conversation? Do you guys feel would it violate the man code, or would it violate the cheat code?
Man,
Well, for me, it's God code. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I'm a
right.
man of God, so
No,
for
I'm
me, it's
just-
God code. So it ain't
that's-
violating nothing for me.
Right. But for some men, they
I don't even know what that is. Stop playing in our face. You're not real.
it's not real. There's no
No.
man code. There's no
Ain't
cheat
none of
code.
that.
Y'all heard that?
No, I framed it earlier that my takeaway was that if just one guy or one female got something from what we said tonight, that is going to help them with their damage. It is
Right.
going to help them with their relationship,
Yeah.
Right.
their marriage.
Yeah.
Right.
Then this was a success.
Definitely. Because I think the biggest thing is that you guys, intimacy is not just sex. And I think a lot of ladies think, oh, he just wants sex. Well, there's so much more than sex. Intimacy is a conversation. Intimacy maybe is this is my friend. I met him and brought him to, at the time, my husband, said, this is my friend. Then loved him so much, introduced him to my father. There are people that you can connect with and create genuine friendships,
Right.
So connections can go so much deeper. So I think that's definitely, hopefully somebody can get that. It's not just about, intimacy is not just sex. And then also connections can be made without money. Like
Yes.
how your example, you met a woman and took her to Brahms. That's amazing. There are women out there who take their time to bash men. Oh, he took me to cheesecake. I don't know if y'all remember seeing that one that went viral, and that was just so stupid. I was like, I like cheesecake. What's the problem with going
I
to
know.
Cheesecake Factory? What's the problem about going to Starbucks and having a conversation?
And if I spend $1 million on you on the first date, where do we go from here,
Right.
as the song says? You know what I'm saying?
Right, but again,
A million places.
Yeah, right. But the thing is that it's
I don't
a
need you to get
partnership.
amnesia.
Partnerships, right?
Right, partnerships. That's probably we need to. I would really, really like to arrange for us to continue this. So I'm gonna have our producer
'Cause
get
she
with
coulda
you.
stopped
Y'all,
me.
we don't have to go home, but we got to get the hell out of here. So
And we hope y'all enjoy it.
So we
And-
hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you,
Appreciate it.
TikTok,
Appreciate it.
StreamYard, Facebook, YouTube. Thank all of you. Thank all of you.
Yeah,
But
and
thank
as
you.
we say, love yourself, y'all. Y'all love yourself so y'all can love someone else. Let's get rid of the damaged goods.
Yep. Yep.
Sit
And
down
we will
for a
be
minute.
back next Wednesday, same facts time, same facts channel. Until then, thank
love
you.
it.
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
man. I just really just thank you.
Yes,
Yes,
sir. Pleasure
yes,
to be here.
yes.
Thank you.
You know I love you, my baby.
Yes.
So we come back next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Until then, take care.
Each week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. from Fishbowl Studios.
Log on to hear us speaking the facts on current events, family, and finance.
So be sure to log on each week on Wednesday at